on our backs, but also with good morning, Joanne, um, with a blanket or a towel to put behind, underneath our shoulder blades, like for a heart opener. I know we've done this before. And if you have a bolster handy, you don't need it now, but I thought at the end, maybe we might use the bolster to put our feet into Baddha Konasana. So, you can also use a cushion from the couch, or again, you can roll up a towel. So I used the towel as an example, and then I also do have a blanket, so I'm going to use my blanket. But remember that your shoulders, the head of your shoulders is usually on the opposite front side of the blanket, and just don't want it to be on your mid back. This is a little arch going on. So you kind of slide in, but oftentimes people end up kind of here with the shoulders on top, and then that's not so good for the neck. So you want to softly land there and then kind of wiggle around and see where is it that the opening through the chest is comfortable enough, but maybe you're really tight there, so you need to allow for some opening, but you want your back to be comfortable and your arms to be able to relax somewhere. Typically out to the sides, along the body, usually is not so comfortable. Keep the feet on the floor, and then again, you can walk your feet maybe a little further in front of you. You can take the constructive rest with the knees in towards each other. And eventually, if you'd like, you can take the legs long. But start with the feet on the floor first, and then take some breaths. Go ahead and take a breath, big breath in through the nose, and then let it out through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose. Maybe this time even open up the mouth. Stick out the tongue, like a little lion's breath. I don't know how your energy is right now, but if you are feeling like you have a lot that you'd like to just let go of, give yourself those big breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Eventually making your way to your natural breathing, closing the eyes, trying to settle a little bit the busyness of your mind. It doesn't automatically happen just because we lay down and we ask it to, so give yourself time. Make sure you do any fidgeting or movement that you need to change in order to find your natural blueprint this morning. Just soften through the brow. Maybe even take your middle and your first finger, and maybe give yourself a little massage coming in between the brow and then going up like you were just on the outside of your eyebrow and then over to the temples. You find that helpful, just to begin to soften and let go a little bit more. So today I thought I would read again out of the Year of Living Yoga, Nansen Lassiter. This isn't actually today's reading, but I thought that it was appropriate for a Monday morning, and perhaps we can all resonate with this in some fashion. She says, the foundation of the house of yoga is compassion. No matter what advanced asana you can do, if you don't practice it with compassion, then it is not transformative as it could be. And I would say that advanced asana doesn't necessarily mean a handstand or a headstand. It can mean shavasana. It can mean this pose that you're in at this moment. Advanced just means something that you are working with that may be a little more challenging for you. So she says, try this. Breathe slowly and deeply for 5 minutes. I'll cue you with that. You might not stay for a full 5 minutes in our breath. And as you do, become aware of the spaciousness within you. With each inhalation, breathe compassion for yourself and all of your life choices into this space. Again, with each inhalation, breathe compassion for yourself and all of your life choices into this space. And then as you exhale, breathe compassion into a weary world. As you exhale, breathe compassion into our weary world. Letting the breath create more spaciousness within you. And breathe compassion for yourself on the inhale and compassion for our weary world when you exhale. Taking a moment to actually notice where you're feeling your breath the most. Is it in the chest, side body, maybe the neck or face? This time as you inhale and exhale, imagine that the breath is moving like through the shoulder out to the sides where you feel a broader opening through the back body, more obvious in the front body, especially as you inhale, but see if you can actually pay attention to really broadening through the back body, starting with the upper back in particular. You might even start to feel the shoulder blades or the heads of the shoulders. And the arms draw away, sort of gently gliding away as you're directing that breath, and the shoulder blades start to expand. So no over effort, just notice. Like I said, it's more obvious to notice the front, but notice and feel the back. And slowly bring your arms so that you have one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. Take 3 breaths there. And then that subtle lift with the inhale. And the softening of the chest and the belly on the exhale. And then taking a moment to reflect on something that you're grateful for at this moment, or some gratitude for your body and all that it's doing to keep you alive. And rocking your head a little side to side, keep the eyes closed. Start to slide the arms out toward the sides like a T if you didn't already have them there, and then just rock your knees a little side to side. Maybe 20% of your range, just a small range, just massaging the lower back a little bit, maybe the sides and the hips. And then you're going to lift up your hips a lot and take them over towards the left. And then you're going to start to roll over towards the right side. Use your left palm to press in a little bit so you can lift the body up. And you can slide that right arm underneath. And just adjust the support that you have underneath and to pull it down a little bit more so that it's like the bottom part of your support, your towel or your blanket, is at the bottom of your rib cage. And then come down so you're on the side, so your hips are stacked. And you can bend the knees or you can straighten the knees either way. And then use your right arm to kind of create a pillow for your head. And you can either stay up high using your palm on the back of your head, or you can come down and let your head rest gently on the arm. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale out and explore. Where does that feel good? If you bend into the left knee and you straighten the right leg, you might feel this as a twist a little bit more. Or you can bend both knees. It's a very subtle little opening on the side body. Take one more nice deep breath wherever you are. And then start to lift that left arm up towards the ceiling and then take it all the way over, maybe towards the side of the left ear. Take an inhale and imagine that your left hip is kind of pulling away from you a little bit. You're pressing into the right hip and you're just pressing away with the left. Whether you are straight or whether you have the knees bent or you're in that twist. And then exhale, start to bring that arm up and to the side. And then you're going to bend over, coming back onto your back. Use your elbows to kind of bring you back to the center. And then once you get to the center, you're going to lift your right hip up, both hips up, come over towards the right side, and then roll over to the other side. Same thing, different orientation. Play around with your legs. Make sure you fold the blanket down a little bit or the towel so that you have it right at the base of your left rib cage. And then create that little pillow. You have your hips stacked. You keep your legs directly long. It's a little bit more challenging, but see how that feels, especially when you go to rise the arm up. It's like you have to use your core a little bit to keep you stacked. Or just chill out and bend the knees. Or take that twist, a little bit more of a twist, not a full twist. That would be the right knee bent and the left leg long. And then eventually, if it works for you today, reach that arm up over the top of the head. And it can be, active if you want to get a bit more of a stretch, or just relax, pull the shoulder back in the socket, and just, you're not going to let the arm rest on the ear, just keep it a little bit more soft. Pull the belly in a little bit, lift the chin away from the chest. Inhale, exhale, and think about pressing a little bit into the left hip and the side of the thigh, and then pulling slightly your right hip towards the long end of the mat where you're towards your feet. Yeah, and kind of explore and experiment with that. Take the arm back over, bring the arm down, and then roll all the way over onto your belly. This time, you're going to move the blanket a little bit lower, and you're going to rest your belly right on top. And if your blanket's gotten super flat, or up or puff it up or whatever, you do that too. And then once you're here, bring your arms in front of you. Your elbows are not too close in towards your chest, a little bit further away. And then just let your head be a little bit lower so you're not feeling this in your lower back. And then just roll your hips a little side to side. You can let the feet play the same way. If you want to get more of a stretch, you can stretch the arms out in front of you. You can temp the fingers, but keep your head low. Try not to crank into your neck at all. Good. And then widen the feet a little bit wider. Curl the toes behind you and just activate the feet a little bit. So you can press into the heel of the right foot, and you can press, lift up the kneecap and drop it and go side to side, or just keep the toes curled and kind of getting a little bit of a stretch into your Achilles. So whichever is feeling a little bit more up your alley today, feel free to do that. Inhale, exhale. You can even relax your forehead down by stacking your fists. Let the neck and head chill out. And then you're going to bring the feet up. So keep the feet flexed and just bring the feet up. So imagine like you're thinking that your feet and heels are pushing up towards the ceiling. But your knees and your thighs are still on the ground. Relax the head. Point the toes and imagine that your toes are reaching up towards the ceiling, but you're still keeping your thighs down and your knees down. Relax the shoulders wherever you are. And then take the ankles and maybe roll them around one direction or the other, or you can bring the heels towards each other and take them away. Experiment with how that feels. You can let the feet go all together if you don't like the activation, certainly. But whatever you're doing, it should feel good on the ankle and the foot. Front of the foot, under the foot, the arch. Good. And then relax the feet, bring the legs back in closer to each other. And then take your arms, slide them out to the sides. Hands are going to come all the way down, maybe towards your blanket. And then press into your palms slightly. And then just think about lifting the chin. Only think about that you have like a marble or a tennis ball under your chin. And you're just pushing that away towards the front of the mat. Just to lengthen the throat. Right? And a little bit into the chest. Don't have to come up super high. Just especially if you had a tight chest or you've opened up a little bit more with that heart opener on our back, you might actually really feel a little bit of a stretch when you press the chest forward. Hands are down, elbows are back, like the super mini cobra pose. And then relax, and then you can come back over onto your side, just pull that support out, and you can set it to the side, and come on over onto your back. And draw the knees in towards the chest. And here, hold underneath the thighs, relax the shoulders, or you can interlock and squeeze and relax. So either way, you can walk this palm down the side, down the shins if that feels comfortable, or just hold underneath, and then maybe you want to sway the head or create whatever feels good to you. It might feel good just to have your back in this orientation for a few breaths. Wherever you are, take 3 more breaths, whatever you choose to do. Put your right foot down, let your left foot float up into the air, and then we're going to sweep the legs. So use your fingertips to sweep down, not on the shin, but to the sides. The thumb kind of comes to the sides. Fingertips, finger pads, and you're sweeping down a few times, and then you're going to go sweeping up a few times. Or you can do up and down all at once. You want to really get enough friction so you can feel some heat in your circulation of the legs. And then get to a point in the flex and see if you notice, wow, very different than it would be if we had just done that right in the beginning. And then press into the feet, just kind of imagine you're walking your feet a little bit, and then switch so that the right leg is up. Leg just light, and then you can start to either go up and down, or sweep down 4 or 5 times, and then sweep up. I don't know about you, but with the heat sometimes it makes our legs swell and our feet. So paying attention to your circulation can really help. And then point, flex a couple times, just to say, hopefully feels like you've done some work to them before. And then take the legs down, nice and long towards the outer edges of the mat. Shake out the legs, take your arms up over the top of the head, either into a Y or directly over the top of the head if you want a little bit more dynamic movement. And then take that starfish pose. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Again, noticing your breath, noticing if you feel any more expansion, a little lift of the chin. Any changes from when you first landed on your mat? Breathe in through the nose deeply. Exhale through the mouth completely. Nice. And then walk your feet back in one more time. Open them up to the sides with the knees. Bring the knees into the chest, and then open them up. Take circles, like 5 circles one way, and then 5 circles the other way. If you already did this earlier in your, when we were just orientating to our backs, then feel free to do something different if you'd like to. Sometimes it's nice to just take one forward and the other one, and it's like a wide bicycle or something. Good. And then you can lift up the hips, move them a little over towards the right, roll over, and come up to a comfortable seat. If you want to sit on that same support that you used underneath your shoulders, you can do that. You can make it a little bit wider or taller. Got a bolster, you can sit up on a bolster. And just wiggle around a little bit, find your sitting bones feeling rooted. And you can sit in whatever shape of Sukhasana feels good to you, and always using props underneath the knees if that would be more comfortable. And then just kind of rock a little side to side, forward and back. Lift the flesh either to the sides or behind you. Roll the shoulders. So think about, sometimes we're feeling like, oh, I want to be more energetic today, so you might want to exaggerate. Or some days you're like, oh, my shoulders are really sore from whatever you've done, or you're feeling like, I need to be gentle with my body today, so take it lightly. And then move in the other direction. And then just take one at a time. So lift that right shoulder around, and this might be a good place to exaggerate. Even you get a little side movement as well, if you're interested, or just keep it light. And might be that is at least, it's more fun to go back than it is to go forward, for me anyways. And then take it the other side, so back and around, in between your shoulder blades at all. Do you feel it in your mid-back? Where is the sensation for you? And then bringing it forward. Open up the arms, take your arms out to a T. Take a big inhale. You should feel some more expansion to the front of the body, especially because you're in that nice heart opener. And then bring that right elbow underneath the left. And then hold on to the shoulders, biceps. Just explore here. So maybe you want to make this a little bit more physical and give yourself a massage, or you squeeze so you can feel that upper back, or maybe you just need a hug today. Right? So take a breath, close your eyes, and you get to choose. Just need to give yourself a hug today, or maybe you mix it up, you give yourself a massage, but you're also feeling like getting that nice hug. And then open up, bring your elbows up a little bit higher towards the chin, and then open up your eye gazes, not directly up, but just in front of you up. Open up the arms. You feel different on one side or the other, maybe flex into the wrists, and then take the left underneath, and then same thing, but maybe you choose to do something different. Maybe this is where you just decide, I just need the hug today. Try not to let go to keep your spine stacked, but do whatever you need to do. Take advantage of that free massage if you feeling it. One more nice deep breath in. Exhale completely. And then open up the arms. Let those legs come out, point and flex. See if you can rotate your knees a little inward. See how different that feels on the back of the legs. Your feet are flexed. Move back a little bit so you can see my legs. Flex. And then just like a little rotation of the knee in. Changes it in the calves especially. And then you can let it go. Point and flex. And then we'll switch the leg orientation. So see if you can remember. If you are on a support, you can bring yourself a little closer towards the edge. And then give yourself that little wiggle side to side, forward and back. Lift the flesh away. You get broader support, seat there. And then just be there for a minute with your eyes closed. So lift of the chin. Sway the elbows so that you're relaxing. The shoulders, shake the neck side to side, or head side to side, up and down. Like you're saying, yeah, and no. And then as you dip the chin slightly and then you inhale, it's almost as though as you start to inhale and lift the chin, it's like there's a string between the chin and the chest just lifts automatically and that chin lifts. And then exhale, let the chin drop slightly. Feel the back of the neck. And then as you inhale, notice how the chin and the chest rise together. And then you can open up your eyes if you have your eyes closed, and then we're just going to work into the fingers a little bit. So take your thumb and your first finger, and you're going to go up with your thumb and your fingers behind the thumb. You're just going to slide like you're massaging the skin up to the fingertip, and then squeeze the nail, and then let go like you're pulling it up. It's just a nice little pop of circulation there for you. So, and then work up each finger, squeeze at the tip, and squeeze. Good. And then do it on the other side. It's not super, super gentle. You want to get some friction there with the finger and the thumb. And then get to the tip, you give it a big squeeze. Unless it hurts, of course, you want to do that. Good. One more time. Nice. All right, and then open and close the fingers. Just let them float around a little bit, and then we'll do the wrists. So you're going to take that same thumb and the first finger, and then go just below, actually just above the wrist bone. So you feel the bones right here, go above that. Don't go on the bone, that will not be comfortable. Create this little C shape, and then just use the friction of your back of your finger and your thumb. Create some circulation there, so it should feel a little warmth. You want to actually go all the way into the pad right there underneath the thumb. That's usually a place where, after using the computer or the phone so much, that it could use a little massage and some extra circulation. So feel free to play around there. And whenever you're ready, go to the other side. And just go above. And this really helps too once we get to our hands and knees, or if you do classes where you do down dog, it's really good to do this before, just to get that extra circulation so that it doesn't start to bother your wrists. And then go to thumb pad. See, just looking into this tender spot. And relax your shoulders, relax your hands, and then just flip your palms facing up. Relax them on the thigh or the knees. Lift the chin slightly. And then just imagine that you're breathing into the hands. You're sending your breath all the way down into the fingers, into the palm. Slowly start to open up the palm, so you don't have to stretch them and engage them too dynamically, but just let the fingers, like they're just growing. Release. And then we'll move on over to your hands and knees. Once you get there, feel free to take one leg behind you and then the other leg behind you. Give yourself a little stretch movement there. Play around with your foot if you'd like to. Sway the hips side to side. Pay attention to your palms. And in your neutral table, maybe you want to either tent the fingers and sort of engage the fingers as you lower down, landing on the pad of the fingers, which is here. Like you're moving forward as you land, and then gently the pad right below the thumb, and then the wrists. So that you're using the whole hand, you don't just come down, and basically our weight ends up coming right here into the wrists, and the fingers are completely off duty. And you want to avoid wrist pain as long as possible, or at least help keep it from making it debilitating for us. So take the hips a little side to side, stretch around the back a little bit, and as you come back through the center, lift into your cow pose, exhale, and into your cat. And then you decide, do you want this to be this movement meditation with the breath, where it's just this graceful gliding, moving with the breath, or do you want more dynamic, more sensation out of the body? But making sure either way that you're using your breath. Inhaling in the chest, exhaling, pulling belly button in. And then the next time that you come into your neutral table, take your arms a little bit further away from you, so now you're at an angle here, and then just shift a little back and forth, feeling that nice stretch through all the sides of the spine, all the way up and down, all the way into the lower back. Good. Going, and you get to decide how far back you go. You can come up and let the hips fall forward and feel a nice little stretch there. Again, you want to make sure that you're using your energy, not sinking into your wrists. And then you can go all the way back to the heels. Relax the head. Inhale forward. And just keep it flat back and go back and forth a couple more times. Say 3 more times, forward and back. Deep breath in as you come forward. Exhale out as you go back. And then once you come, keep your arms where they are, and then just take a couple swirls with your hips. So really imagine that it's only your hips here. Usually I'm all about, use the whole body, get into the shoulders, the side body, but if you want to do that for sure, or if you want to experiment, just think about like almost like you have a hula hoop around your hips and you're just doing the hips. I mean, obviously you're getting a little to the thighs as well, but the lower back, but mostly maybe not about getting all the way into the shoulders and back into the hips, and then circle the other direction. It's just kind of nice to try something different because we love to do what we know how to do, and of course it makes us feel good, of course that's even better. Sometimes you find these crevices you've experienced before when you change it up just a little. And then come down onto the elbows, come into your puppy pose. If you like to go to extended child's pose, you're welcome to do that too. You would bring the toes together, take the hips all the way back. Or in puppy pose, keep the hips high. Check and make sure your feet are behind you. Shoulders are right over the elbows. And then I sometimes will use my hands in the crease here just to make sure that I'm in the right place to support myself. And then start to move the arms forward if you want more into the shoulders. Find a place where you can soften and breathe for 10 breaths. So that you're really connecting and letting the body absorb the movements you've already been doing. If you have your shoulders way out, feel free to draw them back in so that you can just get the back stretch, the back ease, and release a little into the shoulders. This would be more active. This would be less. You want to experiment with walking the elbows in and bending the elbows, taking the hands up behind the neck. That's also a nice stretch on the shoulders. You can explore there if you'd like. And then using your fingers to slide you up, and the arms, you're coming up onto your knees for a moment. Bringing the arms all the way up. Take your right arm down to the side, leave your left arm up, and then just slide that right hand down to the side slightly. You can take a side bend this way, or you can use your left hand and let it slide up the rib cage and slide down. So either way, this will be more dynamic, and this is more awareness on that side body stretch. And think about here, you're moving this hip, you're grounding down here so that you're not just creating this kind of crunching here, you're getting a little bit more opening between the hip and the rib cage as you lift a little bit, press into this right knee, and then you feel a little more opening there, whether or not you're doing the arm over the head or whether you slide the hand up, either way. So keep going. Let's say one more time on the right side, and then we'll switch and go to the left side. Use your breath to bring both arms up. Stay there for a moment. Notice any sensations. You can always curl the toes if you want to try closing your eyes. You make a little bit more of a hip opener and push your hips slightly forward. Just stay where you are. And as you exhale, take the left hand, slide it down, and either use this right palm and go back and forth, inhaling up, exhaling down, thinking about lengthening. A little bit more space here, so lift the rib cage, let that hip and leg and knee root down. And keep going back and forth at your own pace. One more cue that's kind of nice if you decide to take the arm over the top of the head. When you think about the palm pressing down towards the ground, you might notice a different sensation there, especially as you inhale and then as you exhale. Your choice, either way. And then next time that you come up, roll the shoulders, bring the hands to the sides. Again, take a little heart opener here if you want to curl the toes and try closing your eyes, pressing your front of your thighs forward slightly as you lift the chest up. So it's not a like pushing out, it's a subtle push forward, zipping here all the way up, opening up the heart. Maybe you lift the chin. You want to go into a camel pose if you're feeling like that is accessible. You can open up the arm, the right arm do one at a time, and go back towards the heel, and then switch to the other side. But if that's in your practice, explore there. Otherwise, stay right where you are. One more nice deep breath in, and then we're going to take the hands to the sides. Bring your left foot forward and do a little hip hinge here. Gliding back and forth. If you have blocks or if you want to come up onto the knees and be down on the floor, that's fine too. So simple, back and forth, a little gliding with the hips. And then switch to the other side. You want to explore and get a little bit deeper into more of a stretch and so on and so forth. You're at home. I can't see you from here, so feel free to do whatever you want to do. That feels more, that's what you need more of. We're gonna make our way to standing though in a minute. So one more slide forward and back. Good. And then bring both hands to the, we're gonna come to standing. So however you want to get there, I sometimes like to just show that you can curl the back foot. Hands are here. As you're curling, coming off of that back foot, you press into your thigh and come up. I'm going to change my computer screen a little bit. Once you're there, just pedal out your feet. Maybe sway a little side to side. Create your own little shape coming eventually into our Tadasana pose. I'm going to come up a little bit. Hopefully you can see me. Go to full screen. There we go. Okay. All right, sure. And then just, like I said, pedal out the feet, shake everything out. Come into a Tadasana pose, taking your time, shifting the weight from one foot to the other, eventually equalizing the weight or equal weight on both feet. Draw the energy up through the legs. Feel that rooting down sensation. Lift the hip points up, maybe just a little taller. Again, that space between the hips and the rib cage a little bit. Bring the shoulders up and then just let the shoulders come back into the sockets. A little micro bend into the knees. Chest is soft. You can have the fingers soft or you can be more energetic. It's up to you. And close your eyes for a moment. Just imagine a majestic mountain. I was just actually out in Rappahannock County, just about an hour and 15 minutes from Alexandria, and it was just so fun to see the mountains in the summertime. And how beautiful they are. And then then slowly just let your arms kind of creep up. Wiggle your fingertips. And just let the arms kind of creep all the way up, bend at the elbows, and then touch the fingers to the top of the head. You're on the fingertips, just right there at the top of the head, and then just press your fingertips into the top of your head as you reach the top of the head into the fingers. No, weird, but just explore there, and then feel the chest kind of start to lift. Nice. And then if you want to give yourself a little head massage, feel free to do that. My hair is in a clip, so I'm not going to do it because I have to fix it up again. So just use your fingertips to come down anywhere, massage, back of the head. So you have the pads of the fingers just massaging somewhere into the head. Good. And then just let the arms come down. Maybe you feel like, ooh, kind of cool. Take a nice deep breath in and let it go out through the mouth. Good. Widen your feet a little bit more. Reach your fingers up like you're kind of reaching for the clouds, so it's a gentle, use the fingertips like you're kind of noticing this part of the body moving, not so much about where the fingers are going. You can keep your elbows bent, you can go more side to side, or you can reach out in front of you, right? You don't have to keep the weight on both feet, just kind of different. And then let the fingertips come down like a little waterfall. Awesome. And then we'll play around with a little balance here. So take your left foot and bring it forward a little. And then take your right knee, bend it, and then take those toes back behind you. So you figure out where it is that you can feel either on the toes, or maybe you want to have the whole foot down. We're basically just going to play around shifting off of that back foot and bringing it back, and kind of going back and forth there, and maybe eventually playing around with the knee coming up, taking the arms to the sides, growing a little bit taller. So that's where we're going. So go just back and forth a few times. And if you want, you can play around with coming up, taking the foot back without staying there, and then bending a little left knee. Good. And then we'll play with the balance. So come up onto the toes, back right toes. If you want to take the foot further behind you, you can do that. It's up to you. And then you can stay on the toes, take the arms maybe to the sides, and then eventually if you want to play with the hands in heart center, or you want to play with the arms above the head, feel free to play around with the arms. And then you're just going to tilt a tiny bit forward, so then you can play around with lifting those toes up off the ground. Or maybe you just keep that big toe there and just play around with balancing on the big toe. You can keep a little bend into the left knee if you need to, but you really want to use that strong left leg, shifting the weight and pulling the energy up. And you can certainly tilt a little bit more coming into your warrior three pose. Just keep that hip facing down towards the ground. And if you have a wall, even better, then just hold on to the wall and play around. Eventually, we will walk that right foot forward. Take your time, and once you're there, just do a little shaking of the knees. Both feet are down on the arms. Shake out the arms. And then we'll try it on the other side. So maybe you need to walk back a little bit so you have space in front of you. Right foot forward this time. Now you know where we're going. Stance could be a little bit different on this side. It could be wider, it could be shorter. Experiment. But let's move first. We're shifting the weight back and forth. You can lift the front foot or the back foot up. And bend to the right knee. The upper body though nice and tall and rigid. Let it go off. And then eventually, mindfully, you're going to step forward, shifting the weight onto the right leg. Grow tall. Engage as many parts of the body as we can. It's like building this puzzle. Have the puzzle pieces all together. They all work together, so then that makes us more supported, where the ease can come in more with the pose. Definitely strengthen ease in this pose. The hips square, and forward, try not to tilt. And then you play works for you. 3 points of middle of your heel, behind the little toe, mound of the big toe, mound of the little toe. You have that V, so you're using all parts of your foot. If you're wiggling, that's okay because you're creating strength in that leg and that ankle. And playing around with tilting if that works for you. Finally bringing that left foot forward. And then you can just shake out the feet, let the arms go, fingers are soft, widen a little bit more. And then we're gonna rotate, taking the right arm over. Start at your hips here first. Just let the hands gently come to the hips. Lifting one toe off the ground. You can bend into the knees with a little more momentum if you like to do that. And then eventually move up to the waist a little bit more. And you can let go here and be a little bit soft with the arms, or you can be more energetic. Give me a little more oomph to the swing. And then eventually taking the arms up towards the shoulder, either behind you or beside you, or you can tap your shoulder. This is kind of nice to bend the knees because then you get that rotation, feels a little less restricted. Good. And then wind it down, back in, bend the knees. You can hang out here, feel that stretch. It also feels good on the back, it feels good on the side, or you can rotate shoulder in. Sometimes people like to explore with the legs a little bit wider, shifting the weight this way, back and forth. Just be mindful of your knee. That's way more energetic, I think. So it's up to you and what feels comfortable. Maybe close your eyes and imagine this is an exploration. Inhale fully, exhale completely wherever you choose to go. Good, and then start to walk the feet in, maybe bringing the toes in and then the heels in, toes in, heels in. Come back to your Tadasana where you started from when we were standing. And then whatever it is you choose to do with the hands, close your eyes, take 5 breaths. Maybe even think about the breath moving, again, down through the back body. When you exhale, feeling that broadening, that upper back, mid back, lower back. Or just be. Slowly take the arms out to the side, and then you're going to bend into the knees. You can widen your stance a little bit if you'd like to. Just bend into the knees into a chair, and it can be a super soft, cushy chair. Think about the sitting bones coming down towards the ceiling as opposed to kind of tucking the tailbone. Think about the sitting bones. If you were to sit, if you were to go ahead and sit right down, you'd go back. You would sit right on your sitting bones if you hit the floors. Where I'm going with that, sitting bones down. Good. Take your arms out to the front, and then just open up. And you can either flex the hands, or you can just open up, and then again. Actually, let's don't cross. Let's just round here, like you're giving someone else a hug, right? Maybe that hug is for the world. Maybe that hug is for a particular person. Inhale, reach up, legs straight. Exhale, soften into your chair or into that hug that you would like to give someone else, or community, the world, or it could be you. Last time, take your opposite hand. If you're doing one hand on top of the other, take the other one. Mix it up a little. And then let the arms come down to the sides. And then slowly make your way onto the floor. Again, come onto your back. If you need to take a hip opener, if you want to get more into the hips, feel free to do that. Taking your number 4 or crossing the legs. I'm going to leave it up to you. Most of you all have such beautiful practices, and you'll know exactly what it is that you need once you land. Big breath in. Exhale out. I'm going to cue you in a half happy baby pose. So you're gonna walk your right foot out, but again, if you wanna explore here with something else, that's fine too. And then you're gonna hold on either under the thigh, draw your knee towards the side, left side of the body. And you can hang out here. And then you can also just let this right knee fall out a slight bit. Right? And then the next place maybe you would go is if it was accessible, you could hold on to the lower part of your leg and shin, and then let that knee come out to the sides. So it's not coming in towards the chest so much as it's bending, and then you're rotating the leg out, just like we were just standing up, half goddess pose-ish. If you have a strap, even better. Try to see if you can relax your shoulders and breathe. One more nice deep breath, and then start to slowly take your hand down and bring the knee in first with the bent leg, and then let the left foot fall. And then try the right. So bend the right knee, hold underneath the thigh, rotate it out to the side a little bit as you draw the knee in towards your side body, holding behind the thigh, keeping the foot up towards the ceiling. Difference than just holding onto it here, which actually doesn't, it's like a stretch as well. So experiment with that, or take the hand and draw it out to the side. And you can always, this will kind of probably want to drop out naturally, so you can do that. Don't force it, just let it sort of roll out. Half happy baby pose. Breathe. Find some ease somewhere. If you're finding that you're kind of drifting over to the side and it gets to be a little too much, then release the leg a little bit, bring yourself back to the center. One more nice deep breath in. Exhale out, and then let that foot come down. Bring the knees close together, give them a little squeeze, and then you can take full happy baby pose. Put underneath the thighs, and then rock a little side to side. Make it more energetic, flex the feet more, hold on in front of the arms are in front of the shins, and then sway and rock. Go all the way over to the sides. If accessible, you can hold on to the toes as well. If you're holding on to the toes, just let your elbows relax, your arms relax. And anything else that you need, go for it now. We have about 5 more minutes, so I'm going to show you what I was talking about, maybe taking your Tadasana pose, either in your Shavasana, or you probably don't have time to do it unless you want to do it in your Shavasana. But if you have a bolster or a couch cushion, like I have a thinner couch cushion over there, but since I have the bolster, I'm going to use it, but you certainly can use something else. Come close to the prop that you're using, and then bring the soles of the feet together. So maybe it feels better to just let the legs and feet drape over and have that support there. You can also use something behind your neck, if that feels good. And then hands can be on the belly. You can also slide the bolster slightly further away, maybe. Experiment. Maybe it feels okay to have the feet together. You have the support of the thighs and the shins, the outer part of the legs. So, and if that's just not comfortable for you at all, and you have something else in mind, feel free to do that. You can also use your support, turning it on its side, and using it this way. So all of those things should feel really good on your lower back. If they don't, then certainly take yourself long time. Use your eye pillow if you have something. Eyes, and then just find your way slowly into a place where you can start to relax and restore. the breath to sweep through the body gently. Relax the face. Let the eyelids be heavy. Again, feeling that breath, not just in the front of the body, but allowing the breath to trickle down both sides of the spine, all the way down to the hips, back of the legs, the feet. Slowly breathe compassion for yourself as you inhale. And as you exhale, breathe compassion into a weary world. Breathe compassion for yourself as you inhale. Exhale, breathe compassion for our weary world. Slowly start to move the head maybe a little side to side. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. And bringing the knees in maybe towards the chest, rolling over onto your right or left side. Take a moment there, maybe placing the left hand on the heart and right hand on top. Taking a breath in through the nose. Exhale completely as you reflect on something that you're grateful for at this very moment. Making your way up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. Yoga is in all of our transitions. Once you're there, use your breath to help rise the arms up over the top of the head. Let the palms connect and the thumbs towards the sternum. Tipping your chin, just acknowledging your heart space. And then we'll take one Om to celebrate practicing as a community. So feel free to join in or just listen. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And inhale to Om. Thank you so much for showing up on your mat and for being willing and open to give yourself some compassion and sharing that compassion out into the world today. Let your light shine brightly today and every day. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'm going to